So I will start with the next point, that is point 8. So today I have Vinaji only. I think Ruchikaji has not joined. So Vinaji, you will be reading out the sloka?
Yes, sir. Very much. Absolutely. Sir, it is from
ये 8 के ऊपर वाला जो श्लोक है वहां से चालू करेंगे आज.
तत्र भाग्य.
हाँ जी.
जी जी जी. तत्र भाग्य वयश इष्ट्वाद त्वाद अंध्रदेशो न शुभप्रदः त्रिषडाय अधिपत्वे अथोः कोणपत्वे तु सत्फलः.
Right. Very difficult to pronounce. Well read, Vinaji.
Thank
So
you, sir.
here Parasharji explains in detail what he has mentioned in point number 7, that the 12th, 2nd and 8th. Now please remember the order. This order is very important. 12th, 2nd and 8th. They are neutral. But in this sloka, he further clarifies that the 8th Lord, as he owns the 12th from the 9th house, is not auspicious. Shubh nahi hai. So, पहले तो 3 हाउस को उसने न्यूट्रल बताया, उसके बाद 8 को निकाल दिया वहां से. So he categorically says 8th Lord is not auspicious, शुभ नहीं है. Or if the 8th Lord is the Lord of 3rd, 6th and 11th house simultaneously, that means an 8th Lord becoming the Lord of a 3 Shadaya house, he becomes still more inauspicious. वो ज्यादा अशुभ हो जाता है. So 8th Lord अगर त्रिशदय Lord भी हो जाए, and it is only possible for planets except Sun and Moon, तो वो it becomes super inauspicious. At the same time, he clarifies, since 8th Lord has an inherent quality of being a little neutral, if the 8th Lord is the Lord of the trine, he became even more auspicious in giving effects. तो अगर 8th Lord त्रिशदय लॉर्ड नहीं होके ट्राइन लॉर्ड हो जाए, फिर वो बहुत शुभ फल देगा. वो शुभ फल के देने का हकदार बन जाता है. सो 8th लॉर्ड को लेके दिस 2 points are very important, because 8th Lord plays a very important role in assessing any horoscope. We will cross and see all these things when we go to the example. Is there anyone else who can read Sanskrit except Vinaji in the class?
Yes, sir. I can read.
Okay. Vani ji.
Yes, sir.
And Anupam ji, you also can read.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay. Then Vani ji, you read this sloka, please.
Okay. उक्तेष्वेषु बलि योगो निर्बलस्य प्रभाधकः न रंध्रे शत्व दोषोत्र सूर्या चंद्र मभो मसोर भवेत्.
Right. Very good. Thank you. So in this sloka, a very important point Parashaji is saying, it's the house of each class. I have mentioned Kendra Kona Trisharaya neutral, that is not included in the sloka, but for your understanding and my understanding, because even I tend to forget, the house of each class being strong in ascending order, the strongest house in a horoscope will obstruct the effect of the less strong one and will give its own effect. So, केंद्र कोना त्रिशदय न्यूट्रल जिस ऑर्डर में पराशर जी एक्सप्लेन किया है, उस ऑर्डर में, इन दैट पर्टिकुलर ऑर्डर, द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट ऑफ दैट ऑर्डर house lordship will predominate over the next house lordship, which is less strong in that order. We will see this when we will come to examples also. And in the second sloka, he has said, the eighth lordship of the sun and moon is not evil. So just by sun and moon being the eighth lord, we will not consider them as to be a evil planet, because eight general tendency is included in the neutral group, and the luminaries, their eight blemish is comparatively less than the other five planets. Now, with this background, we will see the last point and then we will go to ascendant wise. Yes, the last point, a planet owning a Trikona and a Kendra house simultaneously in the same chart becomes a Yoga Karaka and capable of producing very auspicious results. Whatever we have learned, we at that time applied this rule only. So, these 10 points now we have, we will go to each and every ascendant to see, apply these 10 points and see what Parasharji has said or whether something new has come up. Now, in context, before I start discussing ascendant, I would like to say two things to you. One is, when this PPT was prepared by me, I consulted 6 translation of BPHs, 4 in English and 2 in Bengali. And the slokas regarding the ascendants are not common in all the 6 translations. There are differences. What I have done is, I have mainly followed 3 books which have a common sloka, more or less, that is translated by R. Shantaram, G.C. Sharma, and one Bengali by Harihan Majumder, BPHs, all BPHs. So, if I'm saying this because if you want to refer to any of the translated BPHs that you have of any author, you may not find one sloka exactly in that same way. So, that means that this sloka in that edition is a little different than what R. Shantanam, G.S. Sharma and Harihan Majumdar mainly have stated. Because BPHs, there are 2 streams. One is Vimal Lahiri group translation and one is some other group of translation, I don't remember. So there are some slokas which, some words are different and that changes the entire meaning of the sloka. So this is just one for your information. Number 2, now Parashar in BPHS chapter 48 has used these rules and given us a list of functional benefics, malefics for each ascendant. We will check them now. We have a ready reckoner. Thanks to BPHS and Parasharji, we are not open to interpreting these rules and decide. We have a guideline, we have a ready reckoner, but let us see. Henceforth, now the most important thing is, for clarity, please note, wherever the words malefic and benefics will come, they means natural malefics and benefics. Don't get confused. In all the subsequent discussion that I will have in regard to this topic, wherever malefics and benefics, these 2 words will be used, means Somya and Krura. You have to understand it, Somya and Krura. And when functional benefics and malefics are used, then the word auspicious will represent functional benefic and pap, evil, will represent functional malefics only. So, please be clear on this. Let's proceed to lesson 5. From here, we start analyzing each ascendant. identifying functional malefics and benefics for each ascendant. So we start with Aries. Now please understand Aries, because Aries, first of all, is the universal chart. All ascendant are important. Any birth can take in any ascendant. But Aries gets slightly more important because काल पुरुष का चार्ट भी एरीज है. So एरीज को अगर हम पहले अच्छी तरह से समझ लेते हैं, if we understand Aries well, it will help us in understanding the subsequent charts, subsequent ascendants. Okay, Anupamji, will you read?
Sure, sir. मंद सौम्यसिताः पापाः शुभौ गुरो दिवाकरौ न शुभं योगमात्रेण प्रभवेत् शनिर्जीवयोः पारतन्त्र्येण जीवस्य पापकर्मापि निश्चितं शुक्रः साक्षात् त्रिहन्ता स्यान्मारकत्वेन लक्षितः.
Good. Now for Aries ascendant, what he is saying? Mars, Jupiter and Saturn are auspicious. They are functional benefics. Why? Mars is the ascendant lord and eighth lord. So by virtue of being the ascendant lord, a lord of an angle and a trine, Mars becomes functional benefic. Jupiter for Aries, which are the houses Jupiter controls? 9th
And
and
12th.
12th. Trine involved, no confusion. Jupiter is a functional benefic. It's an auspicious planet. Shubha planet. Sun, 5th lord, no other lordship, no confusion, functional benefic. Shubha planet. Now, Saturn, Mercury, Venus are Pap. They have the potential to disrupt events in the life of an Aries ascendant. That is the nature of the Pap planet. Saturn is Pap because 10th lord, Saturn is neutral. 11th lord, Trisharaya lord is inauspicious. Pap. So neutral plus inauspicious, Saturn is going to be destiny breaker for Aries ascendant. Mercury, simple, 3rd and 6th. We don't have to worry much. 2, 3 Sharaya houses. Venus. For Venus, we have an issue. What is the issue? Venus is the 2nd lord and Venus is the 7th lord. Both are neutral. Here comes, none of the formulas are going to apply here. But Parashadji has said Venus to be Pap. Why? Presumably, when such a status of a planet comes, where both the houses in the different sets, as Nituji said, he has used a very apt word, I could not use it, sets of houses. In different sets of houses, when neutrality comes, then we have a big problem on hand. Then Parashadji has given loading to 2 factors. First important factor is whether that planet is a friend or an enemy to the ascendant lord. And in this case, it is not. Venus is an enemy to Mars. second factor, which in some other cases also come, in Venus's cases is also there, that Venus is a Maraka planet for Aries ascendant. Now, I will explain Maraka in this context only. I have not come to Maraka. But Venus has a property of taking away the life of the native or bringing serious physical illness to the native. But primarily, if you ask me, I will say that it's the enmity with the ascendant lord is the determining cause when both the house lordships of a planet is getting neutral in the two sets of houses. Third point, Parasharji says, conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter will not be a yoga karaka. Saturn is a 10th lord, Jupiter is the 9th lord. Highest Kendra, highest trine. Their conjunction should have resulted in a yoga karaka status, Raj Yoga status, but for Aries ascendant, it will not. Because the second lordship of Jupiter and the second lordship of Saturn are not good. They are not purely functional benefics for Aries ascendant. If Kendra and Kona lords are not functional benefics or at least not neutrals, then theoretically the rule of Raj Yoga will come if they are in conjunction, but practically the result will not come. That is what Parasharji wanted to say. Next he says, Jupiter's giving of Pap effect, inauspicious effect, is also certain if he is at the disposal of malefics. Now we are getting some very important clues which are not included in the first 10 points. Jupiter is the trine lord and also the 12th lord, neutral. So Parasharji earlier has sent trine lord, neutral, benefic. Agreed. But if the trine lord comes and in conjunction with a natural malefic, then the 12th lordship of Jupiter tends to get enhanced and Jupiter tend to become Pap. So here we have to see for a Aries ascendant Jupiter in a very delicate way. This is how predictions now will come. Whenever you will get a Aries ascendant chart, whether it is a natal chart, whether it is a Prashna chart, Jupiter has to be, the role of Jupiter in that horoscope needs to be ascertained very delicately. Closing the eyes and saying, oh, he's the 9th lord, so he's benefic. But he's sitting with, suppose, a natural malefic. Rahu, Ketu, Mars, or even Saturn. I will exclude Sun because I will consider Sun as cruel, not a malefic. And for Aries ascendant, Sun being the 5th lord, will not be that much malefic in nature. But for the other 4 planets, if Jupiter is placed with them, the 12th lordship tendency will also be seen in great proportion in Jupiter. And then he will become a Pap and will break destiny at times when he will get the opportunity of doing so. So now Venus is a direct or independent killer, or she is the killer incarnate. She is endowed with the qualities of a killer. Now, in any chart, we know which planets become Marak. Killer means Marak. Now, first of all, another statutory warning which I want to give is, when you analyze any horoscope, any chart, any ascendant, do not stretch the Maraka concept and bring and think that it is a pap. No. Maraka effects of a planet will only take place when the longevity of that natal chart has come to an end. Only then he will kill, na? You are, suppose one person is destined to live 70 years and his Marga Dasha comes in 20 years and will remain for suppose another 16 years. So we will say that he will die. Absolutely no. The Maraka properties get predominant when the longevity of that natal chart comes to an end. That's a separate calculation also altogether about how to determine longevity. We'll see that later. But under no stretch of imagination, it should be considered that Marakas are paps. Because in many ascendants, there will be functional benefics also as Marakas or neutrals also as Marakas. Here, since Venus is an enemy of Mars and ruler of 2nd and 7th, so Maraka houses are 2nd and 7th, being 12th of the two houses of longevity, 8th and 3rd. So Venus becomes chief killer. Whenever, I'm giving you another clue, whenever Martian ascendant horoscopes will come, that means Scorpio and Aries ascendant horoscope will come, your first eye should go to Venus. And whenever Venusian ascendants will come, Taurus and Libra, your first eye should go to Mars. Because they have interchanged the role of Marakatta. We'll see to that. Why your first attention should go to that planet? Because if a person doesn't have longevity, or if the longevity is at stake, there is no point in assessing other factors. He may have a very good career, very good marital life, huge income, of no use if there is no longevity. That's besides the point. So Venus for Aries ascendant is the chief killer. She owns both the Maraka houses. And please remember, I'm giving a very important clue. Aries is the Kalpurush chart, okay? Aries ascendant. So, if I ask you, which is the natural significator of Maraka in Kalpurush chart, the answer is not Saturn. The answer will be Venus. Saturn is a universal significator of longevity, but Venus is universal significator of death. And again, I am giving you another extremely important clue. You try it out. Whenever a death will take place in a horoscope, try to collect the time of death of people if you know. Check the transit. You will find in most of the cases Venus to be in Kendras from the ascendant or moon. Exact time of death. or in the house, in the in the Kendra houses mostly. Out 7 cases out of 10 I have seen Venus. Timing of death is done finally with Venus and Moon. We will, if we get the opportunity, we will teach you longevity and death. So there I will explain it more. But just for the, because there are certain things which is written in the PPT, but I don't restrict myself in the PPT. Whatever comes in the mind, I give you that. You people now have become intelligent enough to understand, and the predictive technique should come to you now. Okay, so Venus is the chief killer for Aries ascendant. But importantly, what Parasharji says, the planets Saturn and Mercury may also become killers in particular situations. That means Saturn and Mercury are pap. Now, if pap or inauspicious planets get linked to Maraka houses or Maraka lords, they get a secondary qualification of becoming a Maraka planet. We get another important clue from this chart, from this line of Parasharji. If Pap planets, functional malefics, in any horoscope get connected prominently with the second or seventh, or with the seventh house, or with the second and seventh lord, then at a secondary platform, it can carry the properties of a Maraka. So this is what Parasharji has said for Aries ascendant. But there are some doubts. These first doubts I have cleared. Saturn 10th lord plus Jupiter 9th lord, why not Raj Yoga? This I have cleared. But you see, Parasharji is silent about moon. He has not uttered a single word about moon while discussing Aries ascendant. Now, obviously the question comes, how we will categorize moon? Moon has only one lordship, that is the fourth. And as per formula, that is neutral. But ultimately, planet cannot remain neutral. So here we will take help of the concept which Parasharji gave for Venus. We will check the natural friendship enmity with the ascendant lord. Moon is a friend of Mars. So, we will ultimately conclude that moon will be a functional benefic for Aries ascendant unless she is placed with a natural malefic. Clear? Now, I know you have doubts, so I will stop sharing and I will take doubts for the first, then I will proceed for next 3 ascendants at a stretch, and I will take after that. This is the first ascendant which I am doing, so I will see if there is any doubt. I will take it right now. Okay. Anupamji.
Yes, sir. Sir, the question is, for Jupiter, like you said, if Jupiter gets associated with a natural malefic, then the 12th house lordship becomes prominent and it can give malefic effects. So in this case, and you said it does not apply to Sun. So does it apply to Mars? Because Mars is ascendant, but it is also a natural malefic. So if Jupiter gets associated with Mars, will it also give malefic effects?
First of all, good question, Anupamji. Ascendant Lord is a benefic. Parashatji has clearly said, and we have seen it from our experience, that Ascendant Lord never becomes a functional malefic. He may be weak, he may be afflicted, but he's not a functional malefic. He's not a pap. So by no stretch of imagination, I am going to say that Ascendant Lords under any situation will become pap. Because if the Ascendant Lord becomes pap, there is nothing left in the horoscope to decide.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
It doesn't happen generally. Yes, if it is afflicted, if it is devoid of strength, then you get negative results. But that is because of affliction or negativity, not because it's inherent character of breaking the destiny.
Right.
Ascendant Lord will not break the destiny.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. So I believe the first chart is very clear to all. We'll go to the second example. Taurus ascendant. Who will read it out?
I can
I
read it,
can
sir.
read, sir.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
हाँ हाँ थोड़ा टर्न बाय टर्न करो लो.
Should I read, sir?
हाँ हाँ हाँ. Yeah, please.
जीव शुक्रेन्दवः पापाः शुभो शनि दिवाकरः राजयोगकरः सौरिर्बुधस्त्वपलशुभप्रदः जीवादयो कुजश्च पीशान्ति मारकलक्षणः वृषलग्नोद्भवस्येवं फलाम्युहानि सुरभिः.
Very good. So for Taurus ascendant, Parashatji very categorically says, now, Anupamji, whatever I have said is in contradiction to what Parashatji has said. Jupiter, Venus and Moon are pap. Now, the Lagna Lord Parashatji has said has to be pap. Jupiter, understand, 8th Lord, 11th Lord. He will act as a destiny breaker. Moon, 3rd Lord, Trisharaya Lord, वो भी समझ में आता है. बट ये वेनस एसेंडेंट लॉर्ड है, 6th लॉर्ड है, बट एसेंडेंट लॉर्ड है, एंगल एंड ट्राइन है, इसको पाप बता दिया पराशर जी ने. Whereas for Scorpio ascendant, he has not declared Mars as pap, though Mars is 1st lord and 6th lord. So there is some inconsistency in these slokas which have been noted, probably because we may not have got the original manuscripts. Because it cannot happen like that. There has to be some logic somewhere. If he is talking the ascendant lord simultaneously 6th lord, and then if natural malefic, he is saying it to be pap, but a natural benefic is saying to be pap, but a natural malefic is saying to be functional benefic, ashubha, ऐसा नहीं होता. Some people apply the logic that wherever the Mool Trikona will fall, that house lordship will dominate. But again, if you apply that, for Scorpio ascendant, Mars Mool Trikona falls in Aries. Amit ji must be very happy now I have used the word Mool Trikona. But that even doesn't fit in. So we are not going to consider that kind of a concept. Please remember, since Venus is the sixth lord also, a Trishadayal house lord, Venus will tend to get vitiated if Venus is placed with natural malefics. Particularly a planet who is enemy to Venus. By that I mean Mars and Ketu. Because Saturn and Rahu are friends of Venus, though they are natural malefics. अगर वेनस का रिलेशनशिप मार्स या केतु के साथ हो जाए तो देयर इज ए टेंडेंसी ऑफ हिज सिक्स्थ हाउस रोल coming into providence. But even I will say, in my experience, I have not seen an ascendant lord to be functional malefic. पाप होने को देखा नहीं है. अगर आप लोगों के पास ऐसा कोई चार्ट है तो दिखा सकते हैं बाद में when we'll take up exercises, but I have not seen. So at the end of this exercise, when I will provide you a ready reckoner in an Excel sheet, I have considered Venus as to be a functional benefic. शुभ वही माना है for Taurus ascendant. अशुभ नहीं माना है. And I can say that with huge confidence because I myself is a Taurus ascendant. जिसका जो ascendant होता है वो उस ascendant के बारे में सबसे अच्छा जानता है. Because he has experienced the result of that ascendant throughout his life. Every moment I experience result of Taurus ascendant, be it in transit, be it in dasha or whatever. I know how things are going, whether difficult time is coming or easy time is coming. Because we may forget every chart, but we will not forget our individual chart. No one forgets. So, for him or her, that particular ascendant, he or she is the best judge. Anupam ji, आपका ascendant क्या है?
Sir, Mars. Sorry, Aries.
तो एरीज के बारे में आप लोगों से जो एरीज बॉर्न है जितने भी आदमी हैं उनसे ज्यादा नॉलेज शायद किसी के पास नहीं है बिकॉज यू पीपल हैव फेल्ड एरीज एंड मार्स with your experience throughout your life. So, we will now skip to the second point. Saturn and Sun are auspicious. Now, Saturn is the 9th and 10th lord. By that, Saturn becomes Yoga Karaka and becomes Shubha, auspicious, understandable. Sun is the 4th lord. Natural malefic. 4th neutral. But Sun को पाराशर जी ने डिक्लेयर कर दिया एज टू बी शुभ. तो ये दिमाग में रखना पड़ेगा. यहाँ पे कोई रूल नहीं लगाया जाएगा. नो रूल विल बी एप्लीकेबल. You have to keep in mind for Taurus ascendant, Sun is a functional benefic, Shubha planet. Saturn-Sun combination will not give that bad effect which it will give in for other ascendants. And also, this corroborates with our basic knowledge that Kendra houses, though neutral, they tend to be little bit more benefic than malefic. This is a very important point because Parasharji at the beginning has declared Kendras as to be neutral. But really they are not neutral. Anything cannot be neutral. I have said that neutrality cannot exist. And even if by 1%, Kendra houses, as a house, they are beneficial houses. They are the pillars of the horoscope, highly materialistic houses. Their lords also independently tend to be more benefic than malefic, but more auspicious than Pap. And this rule of Parasharji confirms that Sun for Taurus ascendants is a clear functional benefic, auspicious, and there is no doubt in the astrological fraternity about this also. The confusion nahi hai. Venus, whether a Pap और शुभ फॉर टॉरस एसेंडेंट, इसके लिए बहुत चर्चा है एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल फैटर्निटी में. आप लोग भी जब चार्ट करोगे, whenever you will be doing chart, you will also have your own views. You are entitled to have your own views. But Sun being the natural functional benefic for Taurus ascendant, there is no ambiguity. I have not crossed any classics or anywhere where they have declared Sun as to be anything else except Shuv. Similarly, Mars is the chief killer. 7th Lord, 12th Lord. 12th का तो छोड़ दो, 7th तो मारक होता है. तो 12th is neutral, 7th is maraka. So Mars has the property of killing. So I have said, whenever Martian ascendants will come, check Venus. Whenever Venusian ascendants will come, check Mars. They are the marakas. Same logic he is extending. Jupiter, Moon and Venus, if linked to Mars, also are endowed with the features of a maraka. Just because he has declared Venus as to be Pap, according to the logic, the other Pap planets, if they get related to Mars, they acquire a secondary qualification of maraka. This I have said yes, because if Venus is related to Mars, then Venus may not be a Pap, but will not be as good as it appears to be an ascendant lord also. Because Mars is an enemy, a natural malefic, and an enemy of Venus. So you will have to understand this Taurus ascendant very carefully. So first doubt, Sun is the only Kendra lord. Why benefic then? This I have cleared. Mars, about Mars, now Parasharji is silent about whether Mars is Shubha or Ashubha. He has said Mars is a Maraka, different. Maraka तो भाई जब मारेगा तब आएगा ना, बाकी टाइम क्या होगा जिंदगी में? What role Mars will play for the whole life? Parasharji is silent. So now we'll have to assume what will be Mars. Mars is 7th Lord, neutral. Mars is 12th Lord, neutral. So neutral, दोनों neutral हो गया. फिर यहाँ से भी हम लोगों को कोई फायदा नहीं है. We are not getting any benefit of the set of the houses. Then we will check its enmity with, friendship with, natural enmity friendship with Venus, with the ascendant lord. And there I find Mars is a dire enemy of Venus. So at the end of the day, for Taurus ascendant, we are unable to call Mars as a functional benefic. We will perforce have to group Mars as a functional malefic. Despite Mars is a 7th lord. Yeah, before I take up Gemini, I just want to ask a general question. That are you people finding it to be useful and interesting?
Yes, sir, very much.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay. So let's resume with Gemini. Who will read out?
I can read, sir.
Yeah, Lippiji. Yeah, please.
भौम जीवारुणा पापा एक एव कविः शुभः शनैश्चरेण जीवस्य योगो मेषभवो यथा शशि मुख्यनि हन्तासो सहचार्य च पाकद द्वन्द्वलग्रोद्वस्यवं फलान्युह्वानि पंडितः.
Correct. So, for Gemini, Mars, Jupiter and Sun are Pap. Now it needs elaboration. Mars, 6th and 11th, no doubt. Ruler of 2 Trisharaya. Mars is a Pap. Jupiter, Parasharji for Gemini has declared Jupiter Pap because Jupiter owns 7th and 10th. So by definition, both are neutral. Both are neutral. But Parasharji has given Jupiter Pap. And in our experience, also, there are some occasions where we have seen Jupiter acting as a destiny breaker for Gemini ascendant. Not always. The first criteria is if both the houses are neutral, then we'll have to see with the enmity of it, the Lagna Lord, where we see Jupiter is enemy with Mercury. Second, Jupiter carries with him a Maraka property, being the 7th Lord. And third, see, as an astrologer, we cannot forget. And we cannot forget whatever we have learned, and we cannot forget the golden rule of 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 33. Here, a secondary consideration for Jupiter not being that Shubha is Jupiter also is a Badhaka for Gemini. तो 3 क्वालिटी जुपिटर का न्यूट्रल होने के बाद 3 सेकेंडरी क्वालिटीज जुपिटर का थोड़ा नेगेटिव आ गया. A little negative. Jupiter is enemy of Lagna Lord, Maraka and Badhaka. So if we club all together, we have a smell, we can sniff that this Jupiter is, though being the greatest natural benefic, may not be as good as a lord of 2 Kendras. According to Parasharji, the first rule, Kendra Dipati Dosh, natural benefics, if they own 7th and 10th, they will not remain auspicious. They will remain neutral. They will become neutral. But even within that, we'll have to dig in. If X-ray doesn't give result, we'll have to go for CT scan. And if CT scan is not giving us the desired result, then we'll have to use the technique of MRI. As an astrologer, you should be ready. But you will have to come to a conclusion regarding each planet and vis-a-vis its role in that particular chart. Can't have any ambiguity on that score. The moon is the prime killer, but it will depend on her association. Moon being the 2nd lord for Gemini has a property of Maraka. don't get confused with eighth lordship and Maraka. Marakas are not eighth lordship, eighth planets, eighth lord planets. So second lordship moon, since there is only one lordship of moon and that is the second and is neutral. But the Maraka property of moon will come into picture if moon is associated with natural malefics. That is why Parasharji has written moon will be a prime killer, but it will depend on our association. Because second is neutral. If moon is placed with natural benefics, then Maraka properties of moon will diminish. Will not be that much. But if it is with the natural malefic, then moon's Maraka properties will appear in that chart. Here also Parasharji says Jupiter and Saturn conjunction will not result into Raj Yoga. Saturn 9th lord, Jupiter 7th lord. Technically their conjunction should result in a Raj Yoga. So be very careful when you interpret Raj Yoga. Because whenever charts will come, you will find combination of planets. And this is a key point of determining combination of planets, results. We will further elaborate it when we will take class on yogas. But since Raj Yoga is involved in functional benefic and malefic chapter, we'll have to understand that. Saturn is also the 8th lord and Jupiter is a path as per Parashar, and to some extent he is right. Our experience also shows that. So this conjunction of these two planets as 7th and 9th lord will not be that beneficial and will not qualify to become a Raj Yoga. Will not make you a king. King means what? Supreme authority, supreme power, everything supreme. No, they will not. So this is what Parasharji has to say about Gemini. He is silent about Mercury and Saturn. Again confusion, Mercury first lord, fourth lord. But he has not commented here when he has discussed. But we will take ascendant lord as to be destiny builders only. We'll consider Mercury as to be functional benefic. Similarly, Saturn being the 9th lord, a trine lord, a highest trine lord, and applying the rule that Parashar has given earlier that even the 8th house lordship, if he is the owner of a trine, then the planet will become Shubha. You remember all that point? So, considering that, Saturn is also clubbed up as to be Shubha planet. Parasharji has categorically said Venus is auspicious. Venus is the trine lord and 12th lord. 12th neutral, trine, 5th lord. So he has declared Venus to be auspicious for Gemini. So these are the results which, when we have a Gemini ascendant in hand, we will have to apply, keeping these guidelines into mind. We'll go to Cancer. कौन पढ़ेगा? अनुपम जी, कहाँ चले गए आप?
Sir, I'm here only. मैं
हाँ
पढ़ता हूँ सर.
हाँ
भार्गवेन्दु सुतौ पापौ भूसु भूतसे भूसुतेजय दव शुभाः पूर्णयोगकरः साक्षान् मंगलो मंगलप्रदः निहंता निहंतार्क सुतोर्कस्तु साहचार्यन् फलप्रदः कर्कलग्ने भवस्यैवं फलं प्रोक्तं मनीषिभिः.
very good. Thank you. So for Cancer ascendant, he declared Mercury and Venus as Pap. For Cancer ascendant, Venus is 4th Lord, 11th Lord. 4th neutral, 11th highest Trishadai. He will not consider as to be a functional benefic. शुभ नहीं बोल सकते तो पाप ही बोलेंगे उसको. Mercury 12th and 3rd. फिर वही न्यूट्रल और त्रिशराय, वो भी पाप होगी. Mars is full yoga karaka and is giver of auspicious effect. For Cancer, Mars is the 5th and the 10th. 5th trine, 10th Kendra. Friend of Moon. All qualities of a yoga karaka is present in Mars. So if Mars by any way gets connected with the Kendra or Kona houses, you can expect that Mars is going to build destiny for this particular horoscope. Saturn is Marak because Saturn owns 7th house, not because 8th house. Due to the 7th house ownership, Saturn becomes Marak. Sun will give results depending on the association. Now, Sun is the 3rd Lord. Why Parasharji? I'm sorry, 2nd Lord. For Cancer, Sun is the 2nd Lord. So it's neutral. Here, Sun's result will depend upon whether Sun is influenced by natural benefics or natural malefics. So for Cancer, this is what it is. Doubts. What about Saturn? Saturn is, yes. Sun is a pap? No. Sun is not a pap. It will depend on the association. What about Saturn? Extremely important planet for a Cancer ascendant. Saturn is the 8th Lord. Parasharji is silent. But he has earlier said 8th Lord is inauspicious. अशुभ है. और 7th Lord के हिसाब से वो न्यूट्रल है. तो न्यूट्रल प्लस अशुभ में सैटर्न को हम डेस्टिनी ब्रेकर ही मानेंगे. We will consider Saturn as to be destiny breaker only for Cancer ascendant. We will not be able to say Saturn is a destiny builder for Cancer. Now we'll go to Leo. कौन पढ़ेगा?
Shall I read, sir?
हाँ वीना जी, आप आ गए? हाँ पढ़िए.
सौम्य शुक्र अर्कजः पापः कु कुजे जयार्कः शुभावः प्रभवेद योग मात्रेण न शुभम गुरु शुक्रयोः मार्कस्तु शनिश्चन्द्रः साहचर्यात् फलप्रदः सिंह लग्ने प्रजातस्य फलं गेयं विपक्षितः.
Correct. Very good. So for Leo ascendant, Parashar is of the opinion that Mercury, Venus and Saturn are Pap. I have deliberately written the Pap as the first point and then the auspicious Shuvas as second, because in Kali Yuga and particularly in Ghor Kali Yuga, deep Kali Yuga where we are now, the role of the Paps are more prominent than the Shuvas. In all our lives, in all life of the human being, the content of negative event proportionately is more than positive events, bearing a few. So while assessing any horoscope, we'll also as an astrologer give proportionate loading to the paps more than the Shubha planets. That is why I have written pap in the first line and Shubha in the second line. Okay. Mercury is second and 11th lord. Somebody in the earlier class, I think Avik or Bhargava was asking me, Mercury for Leo. Second is neutral. 11th highest Trisharai is equal to Pap. Clear. Confusion नहीं है. Venus third lord है and 10th lord है. Again 10th is neutral. Third is Trisharai. Venus is also destiny breaker. Saturn. Saturn 6th and 7th. 7th is neutral. 6th is Trisharai. Simple. Again, it falls in the category of destiny breakers. For Leo ascendant. Builders, Mars, Jupiter and Sun are auspicious. Sun is fine, ascendant lord. Jupiter, trine lord. Jupiter needs to be discussed because Jupiter is the 5th and 8th. But by virtue of the qualification of being a trine lord, the 8th lordship Jupiter will get subdued. And Jupiter will give very auspicious effects. Mars again is also for Leo ascendant in the 9th lord, so trine lord involvement will be destiny breaker. But surprisingly for Leo ascendant, Parasharji has not declared Mars as to be a yoga karak. I have consulted 6 editions, but nowhere I have found for Leo ascendant, Mars has been declared as a yoga karak. Because Mars is owner of 4th and 9th, Kendra and Kona, friend of Sun. So Mars qualifies to be a yoga karak. I think we have missed out the original translations, but practically also, please understand, for Leo ascendant, we have seen Mars acting as a Leo, as a yoga karak. If Mars gets connected with Kendra and Kona, give very good results. So we will treat Mars as a yoga karak. But Parasharji has cautioned us, Jupiter and Venus do not give Raj Yoga merely by virtue of being in conjunction. Jupiter 5th, Venus 10th. If they are conjunct, then Raj Yoga will not be created because Venus is a path for Leo ascendant. For getting Raj Yoga, Parasharji throughout his analysis has encouraged either both the planets to be destiny builders or at least builders and neutral. Destiny builders plus destiny breaker, if that is the combination, then Parasharji has not advocated that it will lead to a great Raj Yoga. We'll have to keep this in mind because in many charts we'll come across this. Fourth and fifth lord getting connected, but will not create that Raj Yoga because the other lordships are inauspicious. Saturn and Moon are killers. They will give effect as per their association. Here, he has taken the 12th lord as to be Marak, Moon. The new thing now we are seeing. He has not given Marakatta to Mercury for Leo ascendant. Should have. Mercury second lord. He has given Marakatta to Saturn, seventh lord. But along with that, he has included Moon, 12th lord. And I have also given a condition that they will give effect as per their association. Seventh is neutral. So if Saturn is associated by natural malefics, obviously Saturn will be chief Maraka. And in fact, Saturn is chief Maraka for Leo. There is no ambiguity on this score. But surprisingly, Moon getting a Marakatva effect, being the 12th lord, is an exception to whatever we have studied so far. So we have to keep this in mind. Moon, but we will consider Moon as a secondary Maraka. We will not consider Moon as a primary Maraka. First of all, Moon is a friend of Sun in general, and 12th lord is neutral in character. So Moon, if badly associated, will tend to adhere secondary Marakatva properties, but not primary. Primary for Leo ascendant is Saturn. So the first year Mars is not declared as a Yoga Karaka, I have discussed. We will consider Mars as to be Yoga Karaka for Leo ascendant too. How Saturn and Moon will behave if there is no association? Now this, when I was preparing the PPT, these questions came to my mind. Obviously it will come to your mind also. Saturn and Moon, he has called killers. But how, except Marakatta, then how am I going to treat Saturn and Moon? That has not been explained by Parasharji in clear terms. So we'll have to understand using whatever he has used the logic earlier. Saturn is for Leo ascendant 6th and 7th lord. 7th neutral, 6th Trisharai. So we cannot say Saturn has to be Shubha. We will have to club up Saturn as Ashubha, Papa. But Moon, only one house, 12th house, neutral, friend of Saturn, friend of Sun. Unless Moon has a bad association, that means if Moon has a good association associated with natural benefics or even independent, we will tend to consider Moon as destiny builder. Only Moon, if gets associated with natural malefic, then Moon will act differently for Leo ascendant.